Now, today in Cartoon Breaking News, the highlights of this video, Mickey Kelly, the creator of Velma, getting a second chance to make another anime series from Paramount. We talk about that and the reactions of people of that. The second highlight of the day, Monster High Gen 3. It seems it's now officially cancelled. We talk about that later on. And the third highlight of the day, and sort of surprising, they're actually making a Twilight animated series from Netflix. That just kind of mind blowing, but we talk about that later on and so much more in Cartoon Breaking News. Before we get started, my name is Recho. I like to talk about animation, not just animation, through reviews, first impressions, cartoon theories, and sometimes, if I have some spare time, cartoon breaking news. Of course, if you like how it's going and like to help my channel, put like, comment, and subscribe. That's the only thing you need to do. If not, that cool too. If you do, thank you. Because of you, I am getting close to my main goal of 2,000 subscribers. And yes, I am getting close every single day because of people who like, comment, and share. Thank you. Now let's get started on the first breaking news of the day. Now let's start with something very light. Let's start with the first cartoons of the day, especially from Cartoon Empire from Twitter/X, posted on their own website saying a new trailer for season 2 of Arcane had been released. The final season premiere on Netflix in November. And they just show you the trailer. I watched the trailer, you know what? I am impressed because I did like season 1. I actually reviewed every single episode of that because it was really intense or really great. Even that you play the game Arcane, it has a lot of lore, but doesn't really have story connected to who, why, and that. You just have events. And basically that's it. It's just sort of amazing. Netflix reinvented a good, interesting way and made it a good series. Of course, to be fair, Netflix did not create it. It gave the money to make the series, but you understand what I mean, how Netflix kind of bring the right people to make this show possible, especially what happened to Jinx on the final season, that she just great, she lost her mind and destroyed the higher ups home base, having a peace conference to unite both cities and sort of self-destruct. And that's where you left off on season 1. After that, this trailer sort of covers up what season 2 will be. It seems to me Jinx become the revolution leader of the underground and try and take over the higher ups because they're tired of the BS. But I love it that she's not really into the idea, at least in the trailer what we see, that she just sort of goes with it, like, why not? I like to see everything burned down to the ground. And that's one of her quotes. And that is just sort of interesting, especially her sister or adopted sister trying to convince her to stop and realizing, yeah, she's not the same. I have to take her down. Yeah, I do enjoy that conflict. In fact, I'm sort of afraid to see season 2, or I'm gonna review it, but I am a little interested because I wasn't sure if I wanted to see season 2. Usually these type of shows, to me, one season is good enough. You don't need multiple seasons or what. But watching this trailer, you know what, I give it a chance, maybe watch it in my spare time. I don't know, I'm gonna review it episode by episode like last time. I don't know how you feel about this. Do you like what happened last season, or are you gonna watch season 2 when it drops on November? Tell me down below. Let me know. And I think that's all I can say about this. Now let's talk about the next cartoon breaking news of the day. Now our next news is from Tomb High from Twitter/X, posting at least the images/trailer of the new The Bad Guys Haunted Hot will be released on October 3rd. I have seen the trailer and honestly, I wasn't impressed. Yeah, I'm not the only one. Many other people who watched the trailer rolled their eyes because what happened in the last one. If you've never seen the first special of The Bad Guys that I did review, just to remind you that I did enjoy it to a certain point, like the very end, it just sort of went half wire, but people wasn't focused on the writing, they focused on the art because the art was super janky, like it still was sort of the beginning stages, or not beginning stages, like the late in between stages, just finishing everything off, decide, nah, this is good enough. And that's why it feels this new trailer of Haunted Haunt from the bad guys. They feel the same thing. Of course, the trailer, the whole point they give out is basically the team going this sort of kind of mention who this crook has his sort of special item he stole, and everybody trying to figure out how where is it because the guy passed away, and the team and Wolf trying to figure out, okay, we gotta live here for a little bit to figure out where this things is, and little things start to notice like the house is actually haunted, and all the guys think about like should we walk away, should we not, and they decide to stay, and that's basically the whole trailer. It seems interesting, but at the end, it's sort of the art style kind of forces you to actually really think about it to actually want to see this or wait for the movie to come out instead. Because the specials from DreamWorks ain't getting worse. Like, I understand they're on the budget, they have to figure out how to not spend so much money, but this is your main, basically, main IPs you have, especially brand new ones. You're trying to hype people to watch the next movie, and you're just sort of hurting the brand will actually uplifting, give it confidence. Like we are so confident of this brand. We given special after special to show you to be hyped, to give you a reason to watch the second film because you love this group. In a way, this is not working because it's sort of kind of becoming backwards. Like you just don't want to see this. You don't care. It's more frustrating. The fact that I'm not the only one. The fan base was basically the same thing. They're just sort of kind of disappointed. At least give it a better budget, not like a high $1 billion budget, but something that looks decent. Or stop using CGI. Just use 2D for the specials at least to give your something to see, something decent in other words. To at least give a little confidence. But no, no, that's the thing. Everybody are just tired of this. I don't know if the special will be any good. I'm gonna review the special, that's for sure. But I don't know if I gonna love it because the first one did semi enjoy. You can rush a review, but you keep seeing talk more and more about the special of the bad guy. More and more you notice my motivation to be excited dies a little bit every single time you get close to the second special. Now, what is your opinion? Do you actually care about this or not? Are you disappointed? Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon breaking news. Now our next cartoon news is from Regular Capital posting something very interesting from Cartoon Network. They posted on their Twitter/X account, posting saying Make Music and Cartoon Network are combining together to make new different program for how to make music. This program is basically been a little while. They basically do is teach young children or anyone who are sort of interested to make music to actually let them get in the program and use it to re-edit music, add or subtract sort of sounds, put in the loop to see where the bass, the guitar, or what kind of vocal you can put in it, just to inspire them to experiment and make more music. And that's what Make Music is. And they collaborate with Cartoon Network using all their library songs from their favorite TV shows or animated series that have been in the past, like Steven Universe, Adventure Time, The Powerpuff Girls, We Bear, Clarence, The Main Wars on Gunsball, and also Craig and Creek, and many other well-known anime series from Cartoon Network. And that is just sort of a surprise because I have never heard of this program, but it's supposed to be a little while, and they are promoting this quite a bit. But it's one of those things, if you're just a fan, you want to hear the music, you want to mess with it, you use the program. I'm not sure it's for free, but it's sort of a program they actually can use if you're dabble. If you want more information, they've actually linked the website in this Twitter account called Regular Capital. You could just go with them or go .org make music. Or I'm just finding it a little bit fascinating that Cartoon Network decided to do this. I don't know how long this would have been actually talk to with making music. Guessing to be at least a year or two to the things actually happening in between, like shutting down Cartoon Network, shutting down the website of Cartoon Network. It's so many little things that happen in between. It just sort of kind of shocking they make the deal. But once again, I think this deal was on the works for at least a year because you have to do all the contracts, make sure the contracts are fair, to understand what they're actually doing, what they're giving back, giving forth. Just a lot of BS. But I found it interesting to actually mess with the music with Cartoon Network's library because they given the whole soundtrack of the library of Cartoon Network. So if you like Steven Universe kind of music, you want to mess with it, you want to actually try to figure out to make different music or remixes with that, you can able actually use that in the music maker program. Now it works. Once more, you don't have to use Steven Universe. I just use him because it's like the first thing pop out of my head. You can use Wee Bears or Cricket or Creek or any other cartoon favorite you like. You just like their music. You can use it and play with it in the program. But it's one of those things I'm sort of surprised they did it. But all of that, have you heard of this? Are you excited? Or you can use it or give it to your little brother or son or daughter who want to hear music. Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon breaking news. Now, this news is a little crazy because I think no one expected it because a lot of people are reacting a little negatively because Toon Hive are reporting on the Twitter slash X cartoon, not cartoon, Kiss or Kimmy cartoon had been shut down. It's basically a cartoon platform. It's basically all the party cartoons you can find or anime back in the day. And for some reason, they decided to just shut down. They don't give a reason why. I'm trying to say they could put like a tagline here or what. There's no reason. They just shut it down. I guess they got the government caught on and intended to take down the accomplishment, or Kimmy's cartoons just wasn't really popular anymore and didn't get the revenue. It decided to just shut down. One or the other, because usually that's the true reason why this sort of website. Just remember, Kimmy's Cartoons is a pirate website, so it's just sort of surprising how this one just went down without explanation. Of course, once again, it could be one or the other, like I explained at the very beginning, but at the same time, everybody's a little bit upset because the past couple of weeks, Cartoon Network was shutting down. The website are shutting down. Now this is sort of weird and surprising that no one really expects. But at the same time, Kimmy's cartoon was sort of part of their childhoods. I mean, let's face it, nobody can get so many different channels or streaming services to watch their cartoons because there's just too much competition and not enough money to distract all of them. And it seems to me this is the shortcut way to actually watch it. Of course, I do not recommend do piracy, but you could tell how Kimmy's cartoon was very influential in the cartoon community because if you want to see a cartoon, you can watch it here for free. Are with that be completely legal? I'm not recommending it, but it's something that you see how a lot of people were kind of impacted because let's face it, you just want to see cartoons, and the easiest place to watch all of them at once is Kimmy Cartoons. Of course, to be fair, you can easily have viruses, but to be fair, he's not the only one. You also have Kiss Cartoons, if I remember. I think that was called that. There was sort of the competition with Kimmy. Yeah, I guess Kimmy has basically failed. It's just sort of interesting because a lot of people are just kind of mad or memeing about it because they do say no. A lot of different memes, a Dark Vader, the any kind of memes you can think of, they just put stuff in here. Just people are sort of sad. Someone says like it's an inner era, not another one. Why? Etc. It just goes on, it's on and on. Just so surprising how affected this is because I wasn't expecting Kimmy Cartoon to be that well known because it has one point million and a half viewers watching it and between 500 commented 20 2,000 retweets and 10,000 loving this post because it did affect a lot of people if people did watch this specific thing. Yeah, I think the reason why it shut down, I'm being honest with you, is lack of interest because I forgot this website even exists anymore because it's just something that you don't really see. I remember I just looking down information, and once in a while I see Jimmy's cartoons, but it never really updated the format or anything. It just sort of was there. It just sort of strange. Like it feels slowly went down because it wasn't popular anymore. Nobody went to the website, at least in my opinion. Of course, it could be easily the government just shutting down because they figure out how to shut it down permanently. One or the other. Which do you believe? Is the government or it just wasn't that popular? Yeah, I think it wasn't that popular like right now. Back in the day, it was, but now it just sort of we have other researchers besides this specific website. How you felt about this? Because honestly, I don't have, I do not have strong feelings about this, but yeah, I can see why people are a little disappointed. I got nothing else to say. Now let's talk about the next cartoon breaking news. Now, our next news is from Disgusting Films on Twitter slash X, posting the first trailer of the live action Minecraft movie re released on theaters on April 4th, 2025. You have seen the trailer, and honestly, in my first impression of the trailer, it looks terrible. The movie does not convince me to watch it. But to be fair, I'm not a huge Minecraft fan. I have heard of it, I have seen it. I never played it or cared to play it. I found it fascinating, especially everything they do with that game. Even though it doesn't even have the story, the only thing you do just survive, and that's it. But other than that, the whole trailer was sort of kind of unhinged. Not unhinged, it's more better kind of like what the best word would not the best word to describe it, more like uncanny valley. It feels they are on a green screen. It feels you don't know what they actually doing or who's it pitching to, because sometimes theater makers who make movies, they have at least an agenda. Yeah, I don't mean the woke agenda. I mean they know which group of people they must basically promote it to, and that's sort of the big problem with Minecraft, because they don't know who to promote it to, because everybody has grown up with Minecraft. You have three different categories: the kids, the teens, and the adults. All of them love it. This is the easy W for them. And yet, it seems I was so confused what to do with it. They just decided to make a live action version of it because they thought it'd be more easier to actually pull it off. And honestly, no, it almost feels like a fan made sort of parody if they make fun of Hollywood studios to make a film. Because you have Jason Momoa appearing a character that nobody knows. In fact, hardcore Minecraft people who actually know at least the history of the making of this, all the skins, none of them they actually recognize, except for one. Even that, people are just sort of not buying it because the only reason they actually figured out that was sort of the main character Steve is because Jack Black says, "I'm Steve," and that's it. Because everything looks like a haphazard blender of ideas. Like you felt this was sort of right and makes sense. Like it makes sense on paper, but you actually see the visuals. You can see this was a bad idea to begin with. Like, what was their thinking? Now, the whole plot, like trying to give the trailer, doesn't say much. It just bring live action people to Minecraft with Steve, and that's it. I mean, there is no story. They just needed to survive. That's so simple. You can make your own simple movie story, but yet it doesn't. You just sort of confused. Of course, I could be wrong. This could be a very smart, written, clever family film that we don't see it because the trailer was super bad. Could be a smasher hit on basically theaters, but it seems to all the reactions are basically mid. They're just disappointing, frustrating, angry. They're just memeing about it like why Hollywood let it burn with fire. And this trailer just going and going. Remember, this has 7.8K kilometers, and usually 80% of it is just hot take after I'm pissed off, or some strange of it's okay, like almost in denial. There are dozens of videos doing the same thing. Most of them are just negative, just one or two kind of positive. Some of the positive is just people positive or little kids that thought this is the greatest thing ever. But other than that, it looks kind of terrible. I mean, be fair, it's sort of hard to pitch this to actually make it work. Everybody keep asking, isn't that easier to make a animated movie of it? Like something like Lego. Lego did work. They relied on the writing and the charming and put the right money in the right moment. In Minecraft, no, live action. There it is, like right there. That's perfect. And this is a point out a lot of fans or a lot of people who review films point out this is the reason why Hollywood is sort of broke or dense downwards because they don't see the train wreck what they have made, not seeing what happened to Borderlands and other gaming films. It just sort of they don't wake up during the process saying, yeah, we should change this up to something else. It just doesn't work. But I don't know you how you thought about this because it is a lot of negative. I don't know you because I'm an animation lover. If anything, it's a game that's to a movie in animation and CGI. It looks a good idea, but you don't know what you're doing. It really shows. I don't know you. How you felt about this? Are you excited, or the group of people are very positive, trying to make this positive, or you're the other group of people just burning with fire? Tell me down below. Let me know. Let's talk about the next cartoon news of the. Now, I'd like everybody's reaction to this news, specifically from Hollywood Handled, tweeting about on their Twitter account /X, Twilight having an animated series moving forward at Netflix. And all the responses of people saying, but why? Why Netflix? Why Twilight? Is some people just memeing about it like cake with fire? Who want this? Just let it die. And etc. Like every single kind of comment is just sort of kind of negative. It just keep saying the same thing. Please just kill it with fire. Nobody want this. Why are you doing this to us, Netflix? But there are a small group of people are excited. This could be a really good thing. It could be reimagining of the books. Because if you don't know what Twilight, because I know some of you probably never heard of it, I'm 100% sure because Twilight sort of died down a couple of years ago. If you don't know, it's basically this one girl who accidentally realized this guy she had been crushing to, who is sort of a vampire, but this vampire having a beef with this werewolf, and she's sort of stuck in the middle, but she having both crushing of both of them. This is basically a fanfic became a basically a graphic novel or so. Oh no, not graphic novel. It became a book downwards. A very popular book became. I don't remember 3 books or 4 or something like that. It was super crazy over a top, very popular, and they just made 3 movies about it. It sort of stopped. Well, not 3, 4 movies, and they just ended downwards. But it sort of surprises me they trying to make this a thing, trying to figure it out if Twilight still popular because this is a normal Hollywood move because they're just trying to figure out can we reenact this to make this popular to make people hype so they can make probably another movie. If people are interested or reignite the interest of Twilight, this would be a good move. Make an animated version of it to see how people react to it. And that could be a smart decision, a business point of view. And a person who like entertainment and animation, I am a little bit in between or mixed about the reaction because to me, I did not care about Twilight, especially the main character. I feel she's just sort of kind of selfish a little bit. That's how I feel. But I heard fans they explained to me the book does it better. The book, the main lead is more interesting, more aware. This version of the movie, she's sort of kind of like a trippy kind of chick. She's on decision. She doesn't make good emotions. Like they feel they didn't know what to do with the main lead. But the book supposedly did it better, more emotion, more understanding what she feelings. But oh, that's basically my complaint in what will explain to me. But I can see the possibility because if you don't allow the creator of Twilight to work on it, this could be good. Especially you actually hire people who love the book and understand animation, understand, oh, this had to be sort of a romantic horror kind of vibe, but less horror, more teen kind of romance idea of a vampire, a wolf. And that could actually work. Anime has done this hundreds of times. There is a specific genre of it. If right here they hire the right people who understand, let's copy what anime does to make it more romantic, more glittery. Because I remember watching the movies, it's a lot of moments trying to make like vampire the main lead sort of sparkly. You feel that sort of like an anime reference or anime move or cliche. It sort of does make more sense if they do that in anime instead in live action. And it just sort of, if you see the movie, you get what I mean, because they have a lot of moments that can easily be better in animation. Not because I'm a fan of animation, it just makes more sense. It just makes what they try to do even better without being sort of kind of stupid, in other words. And that's the thing. I feel this was a smart move. Just do one specific thing. Remove the creator of the project. Just let her sign it in and give her a check. Walk away. Do not touch the writing. Hire writers. See the books. Fix the mistakes and improve about them, because this could be a banger if it's done right. But what's more, just to make this understand, I'm not a Twilight fan. I'm literally the person who kind of roll my eyes a little bit, but I'm not like, oh, this is just garbage. No, no, no. I roll my eyes because the writing wasn't good enough. You have something here. Is that they just didn't know how to polish it. In other words, they didn't know how to make it better. Maybe because they didn't hire the right actors of the main lead, or they didn't write good, perfect moments or reasonings to improve upon them. I feel just did it when think the best they can with the materials they have. But hopefully they just rewrite it better. That's all I ask. I mean, let's face it, this is meant for a specific audience. And they can reignite this audience again if they did it better writing. Or at least to be accepted. Look, it's not for us, but at least we admit it, the writing is pretty good. And that's all I ask, in other words. I don't know how to review it. I probably watch one episode to get out of my curiosity. I don't know you. You will actually give it a chance to see it on Netflix just to get out of your curiosity, to see what is this trailer become a more bigger trailer or be a surprising hit. I have no idea. This is like a roll of the dice. Depends what kind of team they hire and the sort of the imagination they have how to make this hopefully better. That's all I ask. Make it better. Now, what's your opinion? How you felt about this? And I got nothing else to say. Now, let's talk about the next cartoon breaking news. Oh dear, the monster is back. The creature we all feared, we thought would kill a long time ago. No, he's coming back. Barney. If you don't know what the hell Barney is sort of a educational kid show that have this sort of magical dinosaur to help little kids to be better, but also show an emotion and to be positively happy. Sounds very good for little kids. Doesn't sound anything horrible, but this thing exploded. But yet a lot of people criticize it so much because it was really bad. I mean, it should have forced people to be happy without actually understanding what is happiness. And that's one of the biggest criticism of everything else, especially how really popular it is and regurgitate the same thing over and over again. Once again, is meant for little kids. That's sort of obvious need to do that, but once more, it almost feels the attempted to brainwash you. The reason I'm talking about this is because Record Capital posted on their Twitter account /X, Barney, a new anime series, will come in on October 15th on Max, and following the same month will premiere on Cartoon Network. And I have seen the trailer and the animation of Barney It was horrendous. I mean, and it's decent enough because it's made for little kids. They're trying not to polish it or anything, make it just work, and that's sort of the mentality. This was sort of low budget, and the character designs, specifically Barney. I mean, his best friend dinosaurs and the little kids look fine, but Barney itself looks unhinged. Almost every single angle, you just like, are you gonna hurt me? Please don't hurt me. This is one of the things I am terrified because the design feels so unhinged, uncanny valley that I'm surprised anyone says this was okay. It's a little creepy. 100% sure little kids will not notice because the group people are they aiming at is people are toddlers. This is 100% sure made for Cartoonito. And 100% sure Warner Brothers think it will be a hit because they put a lot of promotion of this. So that's one major problem. Cartoonito is not a popular show. Barney, people who put Barney is because of nostalgia. Even that all the people who remember it hate it and be comedy saying please stop doing it. Let Barney die. In fact, they made a whole documentary on I think Peacock, if I'm correct. I remember it was Peacock or a different streaming service made a documentary how much people hated Barney because how many threats or other questionable things given to the creator and the company who made Barney because let's face it, this thing was almost a cult cartoon. Yeah, I mean a cult classic. I mean legitimately a cult. They trying to erode you to be positive 24/7. And that is just sort of a little bit odd. Just watch a clip or two, you think, oh, this is not bad. Just keep watching. The more you keep watching, the more you realize they don't know what positive is, and they're trying to force positivity to little kids. The only reason what's super popular is it's colorful and the rhyming was good. The rest of it, it tried to be positive, but once more, it's just very questionable. And now this came back equally. It's sort of questionable. It just asks a lot of questions. Why? But I don't know you. You like me. You're pissed off. Repeating this over and over again. God's sakes, they actually made little kids made a song about Barney killing himself. That's how much they hate it. I remember the song we made as a little kids and pass on to little kid repeating this song over and over again because we are tired of it. And remember, I am sort of kind of the age range of it. I was a little bit older. I was like 7 or 8. Even I saw this. It was sort of shocked this was a thing. Yeah, just pissing me off. Yeah, I try to avoid it all I can. But all that just to understand how much hatred this show really was. 7-year-old little kids making very disturbing songs about Barney because they just tired of it. That's show you how much hatred they have about this program. I don't know you. Are you excited or you like the rest burning with fire? Tell me down below. Tell me down below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon news of the day. Now this is the most interesting news of cartoons I heard from today. It's all about what happened on Toon Hive posting on their Twitter slash X account. They posting on the data blew up account from Looney Tunes had been removed. It doesn't exist anymore. Even that Toon Hive was officially the ones who actually reported this new account reappears. It looks like legit. And they say there is legit. You must trust Toon Hive. They never really backfired. Only if they made a mistake, they reported, yeah, this is our mistake or forgot to add this. They're very professional. But interesting enough, it's sort of fascinating they decided to remove the day the blew up Twitter account. It's just sort of strange, especially the marketing of this is nowhere that nobody knows this gonna come out, will be delayed, or be shelved. The thing we know, it is showing in theaters, but not in the United States. It was in Germany. I think first is Russia. Now I think it's now in Germany, and for right now, nothing much. Like it basically will release country by country, but it's weird because this cartoon should be released first in the United States because it's an IP made for Americans. And no, we it seems we are getting everything the last. It just sort of kind of strange only if the Warner Brothers company sub other branches like the Canadian branch or the Russian or whatever branches of Warner Brothers they have the money to actually promote it, or at least not enough to promote it to see the reactions. Even that, there is someone who sort of reported on Twitter slash X they have seen the movie, but they're not allowed to talk about it. But they are actually screening it here in the United States to understand how people react to the film. And if I can find the account, I just posted right here, right where my face, or re-edit it, get more information. But even that, it's just sort of strange. Why are you testing this film? This film is done, is completed. People are watching a different country for except for us, and now this they removed the account. People are debating down below. Maybe this is a fake account some fan made. There have been lots of fake accounts with films attached to them, like, oh, this is the Matrix film or the Twitter or the Twilight film or something like that. They have at least attached to it to you realize, oh, they fake accounts and they remove them, specifically the companies who own the original IP. And people believe, well, maybe this is the answer. This is the reason. Maybe, but yet not really, because this one feels official and they quite removed it. I mean, official, I trust Toon Hive. I think it was a Toon Hive. Oh, I don't know if it was Toon Hive or a different sister network who actually did actually give the thumbs up. Yeah, this is actually the legit, in other words. But I think it was Toon Hive. Don't quote me on that. But it's just weird they removed it. It just leaves a lot of questions like, why you're doing this? Why you setting this weird margin? Like it almost feels they want this to movie to fail, or even that they really don't have the money. And every single sister branch of Warner Brothers, they showing the movie because they have the money and they can't wait anymore and decide to show it. And I feel that's sort of fascinating. But be known, the fans who reported this on the other side of the world did admit this movie, it is legitimately good. It's one of the best Looney Tunes movies they ever made. And that is just not a hard margin to pass because all the other Looney Tunes movies, they're not a lot, like 3 or 4. Some of them not even movies. They're just connected together shorts and pretending to be a movie. But there are few movies like just Space Jam 1 and 2, and which else? Oh, the other Looney Tunes. I think there's just 3 live action ones, and this one. It's the only 4 movies they ever made. All of them are mid, except for this one. This one seems legitimately will set the standard of Looney Tunes if they actually decide to drop it. I don't know you. It's just weird. I 100% sure because they don't have the money, but it still asks a lot of questions. What are you doing on Warner Brothers? Like, what they doing this sort of strange takedowns or showing films to see if people react to good to this film? It's just odd. Understanding they do this because different countries have different standards or opinions about what you should show a family film or not. Maybe they have something that could be too creepy for Westerners or unhinged or something like that. Decide to remove it just to make sure people do enjoy this film. I don't know. I don't know. That could be legitimate reason or making sure this movie hits right to a lot of people. I don't know. It could be anything, or it's just a very odd decision if they just don't know what they're doing. I don't know. I don't know. I don't have no. I have nothing else to say about this. How you feel about this? You think this is a good idea, bad idea? Tell me below. Let me know. Now let's talk about the next cartoon breaking news of the day. Now this segment, people are just sort of frustrated and mad especially with Too High posting on the Twitter slash X account, posting Minnie Kaling is working on another original animated comedy, animated film from Paramount. Deadline reports. And this project still unknown what she making, but the sort of title or the idea of the project, especially a world with, basically a world that you make wishes that sort of come true, but it's sort of a comedy sort of type of animation. But it doesn't say this is meant for teenagers or adults or little kids. It's still off the wall, but we can at least assume this is made for adults. But all of that, it's just sort of weird because it's the whole project possibly is wish fulfillment comedy and just sort of is Mickey Killing. And that's it. That's all they post. But it's supposed to be on Paramount. And the reaction to this, oh yeah, another Velma, yay. And basically all sarcastic Mickey mockeries or beans about this. Because, let's face it, Velma that Mickey Killing did wasn't really that good. In fact, it was sort of really bad. It's sort of hard to find anyone giving a positive take. Even people who sort of like it, ironically, they cannot really defend it. It just sort of, yeah, that was the thing. But even that said, give her a second chance to make another animated project. But to be fair, to be really fair, should not give the full blame with Mickey Kenley because she has a partner, a working partner who helps her do her projects. And Velma, she quite literally did not have the full hand on deck writing the script. It was her co-partner who wrote Velma and give it to Mickey Kenley, and Mickey Kenley just read the script and she thinks this is good enough, and she did it. And that's sort of the problem. That I feel she's sort of out of touch, and her co-pilot or co-worker who do the projects with her also out of touch. Especially, she's just not funny anymore. Or who knows? This could be a banger. I honestly don't know, but it has a lot of questions. This is meant for what demographic? Meant for little kids? Meant for teen and the kids? Or meant for adults? Or what? Depends what kind of project this really is. But the animation community are not impressed. They're scared. They're mad. And here we go again. That usually the few words they use about this because let's face it, after you do Velma, and there is no walking away from that. They'll repeat over and over again. But who knows? This could be the redemption she needs to understand what people actually want. Or not actually want. Stop being so high and muddy and write something actually legit. Something interesting. Do not make it about you. But that's the problem. The title itself is a wish fulfillment comedy. I think it was satire or something like that. And that just sort of feels another Velma. And that's the problem. Mickey Kaling, she just likes to talk about herself instead of talk about the character or using the character as how she feels to do the story. And that's the sphere of the community of animation. Even the Indian community who want to support her stopped supporting her because she just repeating the same thing over and over again. I won't go into detail because it's not my area of expertise. You could easily find someone online who is Indian and can actually tell you the things, or you can find a report, a professional one breaking down. But at least it let you know how bad Minty Killing is becoming. It's just to give you a good idea. But it could be a redemption project. We just don't know. Maybe she does learn her lesson, understanding she had to write a character, not herself. Even telling her co-worker to do the same thing. Stop pretending to be young. Just write good, funny stories and likable characters. That's all we ask. Make it Indian. We just don't care. Just make it good, fun, and likable. Remember, it doesn't mean have to be a good story. Just need to be a likable character, or backwards could be a good story, unlikable characters, but an interesting twist. Something like Horseman, Joker Horseman. I am stuttering today. Bojack Horseman. There we go. I'm so sorry, but I don't know you. How you felt about this? Are you not excited or semi-interested or just panicking or just memeing this report? Tell me down below. Let me know. And let's talk about our next cartoon breaking news. Now, this is the last news of the day, and a lot of people are cheering, some people a little disappointing because of this specific news from ToonHive, are reporting Gabrielle, the voice actress of Claudine, is doing her last performance in Monster High, and she made a video confirming Monster High is sort of ending, at least Gen 3. And a lot of people are cheering. In fact, the information they got is from the video she made. I'm not sure it's from TikTok or YouTube. They linked it down below on their Twitter account /X. And she's just briefly talking about, yeah, I'm done for right now. We don't know we get another season. Seems to not. It seems to me or to everybody they probably rebooting it again. We just don't know. But a lot of people are glad this actually ended because a lot of people were disappointed because Gen 3 Monster High, this version was a letdown in the portrayal of Monster High. The reason why they're trying to be more inclusive, but the thing is, it really was inclusive at the very beginning. In fact, it was going backwards, and that's the thing. People are just getting mad because they just becoming so mainstream, becoming dull, or removing the special things of each character. You know how they actually talk, their accent. You have a very good idea where they actually come from. Like one of the main leads of, I forget her name right now, but the vampire one, if you hear her accent, you know if she's from maybe Europe or maybe Russia or something like that. You get the idea because the accent she has. But they decided to remove that because they were afraid with bully kids who have that specific accent. And that is sort of a noble idea, but they removed something so major part of her. She's not acting who she's supposed to be. And that's the problem. They keep doing character by character, adding things that doesn't need to be added. And this is the reason why fans were disappointed, especially on Gen 3, because they're trying to push of sort of the agenda, even that the whole idea is to be open, and it feels not more forcing the agenda instead of making naturally. Because at the very beginning on Gen 1, it was completely natural. They never make it obvious, they never pointed it out, or never said out loud they actually come from, only if or intention that sort of kind of makes sense, or people try to introduce themselves. Hello, how you doing? My name is this. And that's it. Just the basic, your name and agreements. In that's basically it. It's not that complicated. But the only problem is Gen 3 forced that so hard. It's over hard to do not notice, especially in the live action movies. That was a easy W, but yet they read so bad. It just sort of shocking because they want to force something that was there at the very beginning and added more to it that doesn't really need it. It's just sort of shocking. It's just mind-boggling that it's sort of hard to not notice. And that's it. It's just trying too hard and changing so many things that didn't need to be changed to begin with. In other words, but once more, it's like I feel this is the first time the showrunner and the animators first try and they just missed the point. In other words, but once more, that's sort of the regurgitating of the people, the complaining on Gen 3. Hopefully they fix it on Gen 4 if they decide to reboot it again. It's sort of obvious. Monster High is very popular, and no, they will not let it go. They will reboot this again and again. Hopefully Gen 4 could be sort of like Mighty Pony Gen 4. They could be light in the battle. But once more, we just don't know. In fact, how you felt about this? Are you glad, disappointed, or frustrated this actually was cancelled? Tell me down below, let me know. I got nothing else to say is thank you for watching. Don't forget to subscribe and have a wonderful day. Bye.